Chapter 10. Measuring and Evaluating Impact. Metrics and Indicators for Assessing Circular Economy Impact. As organizations, governments, and communities increasingly adopt circular economy principles, the need to accurately measure their progress and outcomes becomes more urgent. Circular economy is not just a conceptual framework, it's a practical approach to transforming how we produce, consume, and manage resources. But how can we be sure that the strategies we implement are truly making a difference? This chapter explores the essential tools and methodologies for evaluating the real-world impact of CE initiatives. It focuses on how to design meaningful metrics, gather relevant data, and communicate findings in a way that builds trust, informs decisions, and inspires action. By learning to assess outcomes effectively, whether through carbon savings, job creation, or material reuse, NGOs, youth projects, and social enterprises can better align their actions with environmental goals, attract funding, and engage more people in the transition to a sustainable future. Through examples from around the world, this chapter illustrates how impact measurement is not just about numbers. It's about understanding change and using that insight to drive continuous improvement. Recycling and reuse rates. This metric captures the proportion of waste materials that are not disposed of in landfills or incinerated, but are instead reintroduced into the production cycle. High recycling and reuse rates indicate that a system is effectively extending the life of products and materials, reducing the need for virgin resource extraction. This is often measured by calculating the weight or volume of recycled/reused materials as a percentage of the total waste generated. It reflects both the effectiveness of waste management infrastructure and the public's or organization's commitment to circular practices. Example: global apparel brands like Patagonia report reuse rates via their Wornwear program, extending garment life cycles and reducing landfill pressure. Carbon footprint reduction. This indicator measures the reduction in greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions attributable to circular strategies compared to traditional linear models. For example, using recycled aluminum consumes up to 95% less energy than producing it from raw ore. By analyzing activities like resource sourcing, transportation, production processes, and end-of-life treatment, this metric helps organizations understand how circular design and practices contribute to climate goals. It is often reported in metric tons of CO2 equivalent saved over time. Example: NSPC's Circularity Gap Report 2023 finds that implementing targeted CE actions could slash material extraction and related emissions by 1/3. Circularity Index/Material Circularity Indicator, MCI. The Circularity Index is a composite measure designed to evaluate how well an economic system, organization, or product retains materials within use cycles. The Material Circularity Indicator, MCI, developed by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, considers 4 key aspects: the proportion of recycled content, the end-of-life recovery rate, product lifespan, and product utility. A high MCI score reflects efficient material flows with minimal virgin input and waste output. This index is especially useful for comparing different product designs or company strategies in terms of material efficiency. Example: ASUS used the World Business Council for Sustainable Development's CTI metric to elevate its ZenBook S13's material circularity from 35% to nearly 65%. Resource productivity and efficiency. This metric evaluates how effectively natural resources such as raw materials, energy, or water are converted into economic output. Typically expressed as GDP per kilogram or ton of material consumed, it reflects how much value is being generated from each unit of resource. A higher value suggests a more efficient and sustainable system. It is a key macroeconomic indicator for national CE strategies, but can also be applied at organizational or sectoral levels to assess efficiency improvements. Example: governments like Australia use material productivity goals, e.g., boosting by 30%, within national circular frameworks. Social impact indicators. Circular economy is not only about environmental gains, it also generates social value. Social impact indicators measure outcomes such as green job creation, skills development, social inclusion, and improved community well-being. These can include metrics like the number of jobs created in reuse/repair sectors, training opportunities provided, or the inclusion of vulnerable populations, e.g., youth, migrants, in CE projects. Such indicators help ensure that CE initiatives support just and inclusive transitions. Example: cold hubs in Nigeria, solar-cooled food storage units, saved 42,000 tons of food and preserved jobs in rural areas. Waste-to-resource conversion metrics. These metrics quantify how much waste is diverted from disposal routes like landfilling or incineration and instead transformed into usable products, materials, or energy. This can be measured in tons of recovered material or the percentage of total waste converted into secondary resources. It highlights the efficiency of waste valorization systems such as composting, anaerobic digestion, or remanufacturing. The goal is to treat waste as a valuable input rather than an environmental burden. Example: Philips's initiative targets zero landfill waste and take-back models for medical devices. They track how much returned equipment is refurbished or recycled, reporting and communicating results. Collecting data is only the first step in evaluating the success of circular economy initiatives. To maximize the value of this information, organizations must effectively report and communicate their findings to various audiences. Whether targeting donors, policymakers, community members, or business partners, how the results are presented can determine whether the circular practices gain support, scale, and long-term impact. Effective reporting not only showcases achievements, it builds credibility, fosters accountability, and encourages continuous learning. By translating metrics into meaningful narratives, organizations can inspire stakeholders, attract funding, and drive policy changes. Moreover, transparent communication allows others to learn from successes and setbacks, fueling collective progress toward a more circular and sustainable society. In this section, we explore best practices for turning raw data into powerful communication tools, using structured reports, digital storytelling, and accessible language to engage diverse audiences and elevate the visibility and value of circular economy efforts. Structured sustainability reports. What it is: these are formal documents that outline an organization's environmental, social, and economic performance over a period of time. Why it matters? A well-organized report provides a clear, consistent, and comprehensive view of the progress being made. It helps stakeholders, from funders to regulatory bodies, evaluate impact and identify areas for improvement. Best practice: use recognized reporting frameworks such as the Global Reporting Initiative, GRI, Integrated Reporting, IR, or the Circular Transition Indicators, CTI, developed by the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. Include both qualitative insights and quantitative metrics, and present results in a format that is accessible and transparent. Guidelines. Use frameworks like the ICMA's Green Bond Principles for standardized CE metrics. Content suggestions. Include baseline assessments, progress tracking, methodology disclosure, and future targets. Digital dashboards and real-time tracking. What it is: digital dashboards present live or regularly updated data through interactive visuals, graphs, and indicators. Why it matters: these tools offer immediate visibility into performance, allowing for faster feedback, improved decision-making, and increased stakeholder engagement. Best practice: build user-friendly platforms that display key metrics like recycling rates, energy savings, or waste reductions. Use color coding and simple icons to make the information digestible. Dashboards can be shared on websites or apps to reach wider audiences. Idea: offer interactive data portals, e.g., live metrics for reuse programs or recycling volumes. Suggested toolkits. WBCSD's CTI framework helps companies collect and present circularity data online. Storytelling and case studies. What it is: narratives that highlight specific projects, individuals, or communities impacted by circular economy practices. Why it matters: Numbers alone don't inspire action. Stories do. Real-life examples humanize data and make abstract concepts relatable. Best practice: combine data with personal testimonials, photographs, or videos that illustrate the human and environmental benefits of your work. Case studies can be published online, included in reports, or presented during events and workshops. Power of narratives. Human stories, like Cold Hub's Saving Food or Patagonia's Repair Shop, help contextualize statistics. Example: Library. Ellen MacArthur Foundation hosts hundreds of global CE case studies across sectors like cities, construction, fashion, and food. Transparent methodology and assumptions. What it is, clearly explaining how data was collected, what definitions were used, and the assumptions behind the calculations. Why it matters. Transparency builds trust and allows others to replicate or challenge findings. It also helps readers understand limitations and context. Best practice: always include a methodology section in your reports. Detail the tools, sources, timeframes, and any estimations used. If applicable, include links to datasets or external references. Clearly state assumptions behind calculations, e.g., in avoided emissions or circularity indices. Industry insight. Fashion platforms note the challenge of assuming displacement rates when quantifying impact. Audience-specific communication. What it is. Tailoring your message and format depending on who you are trying to reach. Why it matters. A technical report may appeal to funders or scientists, but it might not resonate with community members or youth audiences. Best practice: create multiple versions of your communication, such as executive summaries for policymakers, infographics for social media, and detailed annexes for researchers. Use language that fits the knowledge level and interests of each group. Approach: tailor your report for diverse stakeholders. Investors want data. Communities want results. Government example: Australia's national CE framework sets material footprint targets, then reports to the public. Real-world examples: Spain. 1. Valencia Region Circularity Scan, OECD. A regional governance analysis identifying gaps and showcasing digital tools like Circulariza and Symbile, which assess company circularity and enable industrial symbiosis. Highlights the need for systemic monitoring and better coordination. 2. Grenada's Waste-to-Bio Factory Case, OECD. Built a wastewater-to-bio factory conversion in 2015, reusing water and generating value from waste. Report details this as a flagship example of city-level storytelling tied to data performance. 3. Eco Embes, National Packaging Recycling NGO, publishes annual transparent reports and operates the Circular Lab, Logroño, an innovation hub for eco-design and tech-driven recycling. Deploys digital platforms like Recyclos to track rewards redeemed by citizens sorting yellow containers. Greece. 4. Central Macedonia, Circular Economy Strategy, OECD. Involvement in EU-funded circular and bioeconomy projects, introduces bio-waste collection schemes and landfill taxes, provides an evaluation with region-specific metrics and progress reporting. 5. Northern Greece, Citizens' Engagement in Waste Plans. New National Solid Waste Plan emphasizes PAYT, pay as you throw, and reward programs like Green Points and Recycling Corners. The report includes public perception surveys and social responsiveness metrics. 6. Municipality of Katerini, Smart Rec Pilot. Piloting a digital platform to recycle used cooking oil, Katerini received EU awards for pioneering circular governance. North Macedonia. 7. OECD Roadmap Toward Circular Economy, comprehensive national roadmap offering over 40 policy recommendations across sectors and a structured monitoring framework to track progress. 8. GHG Mitigation in Waste Sector, Waste CE Assessment. National-level rapid assessment focusing on GHG reductions in waste streams, with data on emissions savings, resource recovery, and employment benefits. Why these are strong examples. What makes these circular economy initiatives particularly impactful is their ability to combine local relevance with innovative and inclusive approaches. For example, tailored regional reports, such as those developed in Valencia and Central Macedonia, are effective because they reflect local environmental, social, and policy conditions. These reports do more than present data. They align with the specific needs and priorities of the region, making their findings more applicable and impactful for both policymakers and local communities. Equally significant are inclusive digital tools, like Symbile in Spain and SmartRec in Greece, which allow for live tracking of circular economy activities while encouraging direct citizen and business engagement. These tools make information accessible in real time, enhancing transparency and inspiring behavioral change among users. In many successful cases, data is most powerful when combined with storytelling. The Granada Biofactory and EcoEmbes initiatives in Spain demonstrate how community-based narratives, highlighting benefits like job creation, environmental restoration, or cost savings, can bring statistical results to life and strengthen public support for circular practices. Other examples stand out due to their strong connection with policy frameworks and strategic planning. The National Roadmap for Circular Economy in North Macedonia and the Pay-as-you-throw (PAYT) system in Greece are closely tied to measurable goals and legislative frameworks. This linkage ensures that data collection and reporting are not just symbolic, but contribute to tangible accountability and long-term progress. Finally, social feedback mechanisms play a key role in empowering citizens. Initiatives such as Green Points and local programs in Katarini incorporate incentive schemes and community feedback systems that enable individuals to take an active role in circular initiatives. These feedback loops not only improve engagement, but also foster a sense of ownership and responsibility within the broader transition towards sustainability. Practical resources and further reading. Ellen MacArthur Foundation Case Studies discover sector-specific practical examples, including city initiatives and business pilots. ICMA Green Bond Circular Metrics PDF offers harmonized reporting templates and key indicators. ASUS CTI Case Study, detailed application of CTI tools to measure and improve circularity. Cold Hubs Project, a real-world solution tackling food waste through circular service models. Recommendations for your project. Use localized metrics, e.g., tons of water reused, Granada, or cooking oil collected, Katarini. Leverage storytelling. Feature pilot successes with community quotes and pictures. Build digital monitoring. Mimic tools like Symbile or SmartRec to show real-time progress. Link to policy. Define next steps using roadmaps like in North Macedonia or Central Macedonia. Engage citizens. Embed reward-based or participatory schemes as in Greece and Spain.